Hello reptile friends and welcome back to my channel. It is time for another video and my name is India, aka Anacondiac. Today we're talking about a subject that I didn't even think I would have to make a video on because I thought it was just so obvious, but apparently not. And today's topic is why you shouldn't be letting your pets interact when one is a predator species like a cat or a dog and the other is a prey species like a hamster or a rat or a bird or a rabbit. Anything like that. So I've seen way too many pictures recently on the internet of animals cuddling or like animals being best friends. No, they're not cuddling, they're not best friends, and this is a really dangerous practice for people to actually be adopting. This isn't just like a recent thing as well. I have seen like funny videos going back months and years of animals being shown to be like best friends. There was one that I saw quite a few years ago of like a cat gently tapping a bird. It's not doing that like to stroke the bird and to be friendly, it's doing that because it's playing, it's in hunting mode, it's going, oh, what's this, can I eat it, you know? And this is still going on. You know, I have seen people have sent me screenshots from Instagram of like cats and hamsters cuddling. There was one recently on Twitter and Instagram where someone was letting their big dog interact with their new rabbit, and it is completely unnatural for the animals in question, and in my opinion it is very irresponsible pet ownership. Just because your dog or any other predator pet in question has never shown any aggression towards small animals doesn't mean that it never will in the future. Accidents can and do happen even in the cases where the dog is considered to be really safe or really well trained. Dogs are animals. Animals are animals. It's amazing that I actually have to say that out loud, that animals are animals. They are not like humans. They can't tell us what they are thinking. They can't say to us, yeah, that rabbit, I'm not gonna cuddle it, I'm gonna eat it. And as owners, we just have to try and predict that these things could happen to reduce the risk of something like that happening to one of our pets. So yeah, just because your cat or your dog has never shown any aggression towards prey animals before doesn't mean that it wouldn't in the future. Simply put, animals wouldn't interact like this in the wild at all. It's in a dog's nature to hunt and kill. It's in a cat's nature to hunt and kill because they would have to do that to eat and to survive. It's in a rabbit's nature to flee from predators because again, that's what it would have to do to survive. By putting these animals together, we're going against their natural instincts. We are forcing them to interact, and that is not natural at all. You may think you know your animals or your pets enough to let them interact safely, but animals are exactly that. They are animals. They can turn very, very quickly with little to no warning at all. If your cat was cuddling your bird fine 5 minutes ago, that doesn't mean that in another 5 minutes that they're still going to be cuddling. In 5 minutes, your cat could have eaten your bird. Simple as that. That wouldn't be the bird's fault for bothering the cat, it wouldn't have been the cat's fault for eating the bird, it would have all been the owner's fault for putting those two animals in that situation. The cat would only be doing what is in its nature to do. And that cat could have been the best behaved cat in the entire world that has never shown any sign of aggression towards birds or to rodents. It could have never tried to hunt at all, but it could still happen. If it was a different situation, maybe it was a rat or a hamster or a rodent interacting with a cat. If the rodent got scared and bit the cat, again, that wouldn't be the cat's fault or the rodent's fault. That would be the owner's fault for putting those animals together. It's just not worth that risk at all. No matter how well you think you know your animals or how well you think you have trained them in the case of something like a dog, we can't read their mind. There is always a small chance like something like that could actually happen. Often for prey animals like rabbits, just being near a predator and smelling their scent could make them stressed and get them stressed out. And then forcing a prey animal to interact with a predator, imagine how stressful that would feel for the rabbit. The poor thing, like, that's just not a natural situation for that animal to be in. In the wild, I don't think a rabbit would ever just wander up to a wild dog and go, oh yeah, you know, want to cuddle? it just wouldn't happen. It's like when owners let their cats sleep on top of, I don't know, like gecko cages or on top of their fish tanks. My cat is absolutely fascinated by the bearded dragon enclosure that my lizard Sparks lives in. Safi would absolutely love the opportunity to go and sit on top of Sparks's Viv and watch him and smell him and see what he's doing. I think she likes the warmth and she can see movement in there when he has a little explore. But for Sparks, I don't want to put him through that stress of allowing her to sit up there. I wouldn't want him to feel the stress of a predator animal watching him, because he knows when I'm in the room. He's in the room now and he's watching me as I'm filming. He's very interested. He would definitely know if there was a large cat, and she is a large cat, sat on the top of his tank. He would know. And if in a situation that I had allowed Safi, my cat, and one of my reptiles to be out at the same time, if Safi hurt my reptiles, I would never forgive myself. She is pretty chill, but even then I just wouldn't want to risk something happening to one of my pets. Or as well, there is the chance that one of my snakes could react defensively and strike at her and hurt her. And again, I wouldn't forgive myself if Safi got bitten by one of my snakes, because it would be my fault for putting the two animals in that situation where one of them could get hurt. Animals are animals, and that means they are impossible to predict 100%. Even if something has never happened before, doesn't mean that it's not possible for it to happen in the future. There is always the possibility that a situation could turn nasty, even if the animals in question are the most well-behaved, most socialised, most patient animals on the planet. There is still a possibility, even a very slight possibility, that something could go wrong. A rabbit and a dog would not be friends in the wild. We are projecting our human emotions onto our pets, and we are anthropomorphizing. I have said this word before, I'm just having difficulty with it today. We are We are doing this to our animals. They are not friends. We are just projecting, and we are forcing our human concepts of friendship and love onto them. It's like if I got my snake Louis out right now. I could be saying, oh, you know, he loves it, he's cuddling me, he loves me, oh, look at him go. But he wouldn't actually be cuddling me, he'd just be having a bit of an explore, because that's what he does. And by going, oh, he loves me, he's cuddling me, I am projecting my ideas of love and friendship onto a snake. And scientists actually don't think snakes experience complex emotions like love. They just don't have the capacity in their brain to experience those feelings. When we make comments about predator and prey animals interacting and being best friends and cuddling and getting on just fine, we are projecting these things in exactly the same way. We are just projecting our own thoughts of love and companionship and friendship onto animals, onto our pets. Those two animals might just be sitting and tolerating each other, but to the outside view, to our human view, it might look like they're cuddling when in fact they're not cuddling. They're just barely tolerating each other, but because our human brains are used to seeing like humans cuddle, you know, and we think, oh, they must be doing the same, and that is just not true. We are projecting our emotions onto our pets. All I had to do was a quick Google search for cat and bird cuddle, and I've got hundreds of images on situations that make me feel legitimately stressed. Unfortunately, this is a common issue, and it's so prevalent that I worry that an inexperienced animal owner would see all these pictures and then let their own cat and bird interact. Mr. Fluffykins, the cat, might have been fine living with the budgie for years. He might be cuddling with the budgie for 5 minutes and all is going really, really well. And then all it takes is for the owner to look away or not to keep track of the situation, and then the budgie is lunch. And it would be Mr. Fluffykins, the cat, 1, the budgie, 0. All it could take would be for the bird to just make a bit of a quick movement and for the cat to think it's a game, or the cat to switch into hunting mode, and that would be that budgie a goner. I know that's just a hypothetical situation, but you could apply it to any of these images of cats and birds cuddling. it could just literally go from harmless animals tolerating each other to the cat eating the bird like as quickly as anything. And it's the same for all the Instagram pictures I see of people letting their cats and dogs interact with their hamsters or their gerbils or their other pet rodents. One wrong move and that hamster is lunch. Surprisingly enough, cats can't be vegan. Shameless video plug right here for my Why Cats Can't Be Vegan video, which I will put in the cards above right now. But yeah, cats can't be vegan. It is in their very nature to hunt and kill prey. And they will see that hamster or that gerbil or whatever as a prospective lunch. There is no way that cat is just sat there cuddling with a rodent thinking, oh, that's my little kitten, you know, I love him, he's my new best friend. No, those animals will just be barely tolerating each other. The rodent is probably scared and the cat is probably either oblivious to the fact that it's there, is too lazy to care, or is just waiting for the hamster to kind of move quicker or be a bit more interesting before the hamster turns into lunch, you know? Just because the cat isn't in hunting mode at that particular time doesn't mean that in 5 minutes time, if the hamster or whatever moves too quickly, that the cat won't go into hunting mode and just eat that hamster quickly as anything. So don't do it. Don't post pictures on Twitter and Instagram of your predator and prey animals interacting. Don't let younger or more inexperienced pet owners think that this is an okay thing to do, because by sharing all these posts and making all these posts go viral like so many have already, this is spreading misinformation so quickly and so far across the internet. This is the age of the internet where there is so much good, accurate pet care out there. All you have to do is look on YouTube, there's loads of forums. All you have to do is Google and research for a bit and you can find really good information out there. So the fact that this misinformation about animals being able to interact safely is still out there is worrying. We should be spreading awareness of correct and proper and really good animal husbandry rather than sharing these videos of animals cuddling or pictures of animals being supposedly best friends just because it looks cute when in fact it is actually bad animal care and bad husbandry. Okay, so that is today's rant over with. I've probably said way too much again, like I usually do, but there we go. I have said it. I have made my opinions clear on this matter. As usual, all opinions are my own, based upon my own research and my own findings. So if you like this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and leave me a comment telling me what you think about this whole situation in the comments below. I would love to know what you think. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe and hit the little bell notification, and then you will never miss one of my uploads. And if you haven't had enough of me already, you can also now find me on Instagram and Twitter at Anachondriac, the same way that it's spelled here on YouTube. If you like the colour yellow and lots of reptiles, then you will definitely like my Instagram feed and you should go and check it out now. Also, if you would like to support me and my channel further, I now have a Patreon, so I will put the link to my Patreon in the description box below. Until next time, I will see you later. Bye reptile friends!